think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
Oh, no, I mean it. I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace. Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
Here we go. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, peace. Greetings, everyone. Check. Okay, I could do that. All right, let me see. Hold on for a second. Let me get something else popping. Hold on. I need a banner moving or something. Here we go. All right, peace. This is Professor Griff, and of course, this is Serious Minds are in TV. And just from the outstart, let me let everyone know we're going to be talking about, is healthcare a right? All right. So right now, you can start doing your research, putting some stuff together so you can join the conversation. I'm trying to get people in the habit of not just coming off the top of their dome. Great filibuster. What's good with you? All right. For sale. What's for sale? Good afternoon. Good evening. Okay. All right. The Bull Don Philly. All right. Shout out to everyone on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. On, of course, on IG. How's everyone doing? All right. Give thanks. I don't know. Peace, Quan. What's happening? All right. Quan is in the building. Quan, we're going to be talking about, is healthcare a right? All right. Is healthcare a right? All right. But from the beginning, from the outstart, I want to let everybody know to go to the website, www.professorgriff.me. Purchase yourself some Serious Mind Brain Tonic, of course. All right. And the Resurrection Formula. Serious Mind Brain Tonic and Resurrection Formula. It's right. It's on sale right now. All right. Thank you very much, Quan. Says peace to everyone joining us in the chat room. Please make sure you hit the like button and make sure you do not forget to subscribe. All right. If you would like to advertise your business right here on Serious Minds RNTV, hit me up. Just send me a text, 678-557-2919. And make sure you go to www.professorgriff.me to pick up the Serious Minds Brain Tonic and the Resurrection Formula and my children's book for the little ones. You Are the Song That You Sing. Book 2, it's on its way, fam. All right. Book 2 is on its way. All right. So do me a favor, everyone on I ain't know you had DJ skills. Who the hell is that with that? Maurice Robinson, 55. We got to get that grammar correct, bro. And so do me a favor, fam, real quick. All right. If you're on IG, could you please do me a favor? Do not send me a request for you to be on live. All right. I don't want to get in the habit of blocking people. So could you please not do that? Do not send me a request to be on live. I don't know you. I didn't ask you to be on, so let's not do that. All right. I really appreciate that. All right. It'll be very helpful if you didn't do that. I don't want to get into the habit of blocking people. All right. It's already truly sad that I have 400 and some odd people already blocked in my cell phone. All right. So let's not do that. All right. So let's dive into the subject matter. Let's get into this real quick. Let me play something. Let me let y'all hear it a few times. I said a few times simply because it took me that long to let it process and to let it kind of sink in. All right. Okay. I'm going to put this right here. All right. And I'm going to start. I'm going to let it play a few times so y'all can get it. Hold on.
Because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national healthcare system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right.
All right, how about if I just put it here?
Racism. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national healthcare system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national healthcare system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national healthcare system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national healthcare system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States.
All right. Nearly 100% of the reason why they didn't propose making it a right to have health care in America is because of racism, is what he said. And then he gave some sources from his research, and the source that he gave that he's pulling the information from, which I'm going to need some of you to look up right now, is Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro. Race, Traits, and Tendencies. Let me share my screen with you. Hold on. Share screen. Bear. All right. This is what I need you to look up. Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro. I'm going to wait for everybody on IG. All right. Yep. All right. So whoever this is, Noisella, can you please stop requesting, bro? I'm asking you nice and politely. All right. No, we're not going to do that tonight. All right. So I'm waiting for everyone to look up Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro. All right. So basically, let's listen to it again.
Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor Black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing Black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out. And that would
2 or 3 generations, he said. So if they said that they was going to kind of bar us from having health care in 2 or 3 generations, the entire race would die out. Is this not genocide? So now my question is, in America, is healthcare a right? All right. So when mentioning this, it automatically comes to what comes to mind is the fact that should we be taking care of ourselves? Second question that comes to mind is when it's a right, who is giving the right? All right. And why is Allah? I'm in the ATL. All right. But I'm willing to travel. So you could hit me up at 678-557-2919. 678-557-2919. All right. Evan says private health care is ridiculous. I recently got out of a rehab without private and got out of rehab and without private. I don't know what that means. It would have cost me $400 per day. Some people there had to sell most of their possessions just to get in for a week. Okay. All right. Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro. It says, the Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro is a compilation of statistics, eugenic theory, observation, and speculation solicited by Prudential in a response to a wave of state legislation banning discrimination against African Americans. So it's a fascinating something African Americans do in the first 30 years of the emancipation of slavery in America. And basically what they wanted to do was just let it run for a few years, 2 generations, 3 generations, and they kind of figured it would, Black people would be dead, all right, if we didn't get the necessary health care. Why would they think Black people would be dead? What's in the care, way beyond the care? What is the health condition of Black people? Not only during that time, but now. What are we talking about in reference to? And why would they say in a few generations we would be dead? Ma'at Hotep, a rising divine beauty. What's good with you? All right. I'm asking everyone to look up this particular document, Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro. Okay. We're talking about genocide at its finest. Without overtly saying that we're going to walk you through and put you either in ovens or burn you or kill you or just blow you up like they've done a lot of Black people throughout America, just outright killing us. They said they were going to do it through the healthcare system, all right, which was not even a system for us at all, all right? So the question is, who controls the food? Controls the world. Well, who controls the food? Who controls the food? So in the preface of this particular document, it says the need, therefore, of a presentation of the facts as they pertain to racial differences between the white and colored population of this country. and the consequent differences in the tendencies of the two races seem significantly clear to demand that publicly should be given to such facts as I had been able to collect, meaning that the study of black people and the study of white people showed and proved to them that we definitely have two different habits. All right? Two different habits. Okay? We just move differently. We eat differently. We are different people. All right? We're just two different people. For these scared to death Negroes and cowards, they say we're just all humans. We all bleed red blood. I think that's a cowardly approach to taking on a subject like this. I think that that maybe if we were a little bit more studious about the subject matter, a little bit more educated about the subject matter, then I think we could kind of dive into this particular subject and pull the truths, because the truth is lying there, not necessarily lying there dormant, but it's waiting for us to discover it, and it's waiting for us to kind of deal with it, and waiting for us, I guess, to rear its ugly head. But it doesn't necessarily have to, simply because it's just laying there and laying very quiet, and is doing what it's supposed to do. Well, you said, what do you mean by that, Professor Griff? Well, someone says the FDA controls the food. I said, no, they probably regulate some things, but I don't think they necessarily control it. I think they're one of the agencies that probably can control it. So I think it's one of those situations where, was our ancestors right? You are what you eat. Can we control? Can we control that? Can we control that? So I think we can. So according to this particular document, and they actually lay it out, it says the absolute need of more searching investigation of the underlying principles of the human progress and retrogression. So they're talking about what kind of progress is the Negro making, even though we're putting these things on the Negro. It just seems like they continue to multiply. All right. So then other things have to be in place in order to make this healthcare thing kind of work. All right. Okay. There have been those ancestors that have stepped up to the plate. The Dr. Layla Africas, the Dr. Sabis, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and just other people that have stepped up to the plate just to make us aware of these particular things and what's going on. That's a very, very short list. All right. There was a sister by the name of Harriet Washington, I believe, who wrote the book, The Medical Apartheid. Very good book, and she kind of lays some things out. All right. Which is a very, very brave thing to do in the face of what we're facing. All right. So this idea and question of, is healthcare a right? So let's answer that question. Is healthcare a right? Is healthcare a right? So Frida, you said it is. Show and prove to me that it is. Why is it a right? Truth to Power says not in America. Voice of Truth says healthcare is not free. So no. Frida, listen, love, we're going way beyond your belief. We're not dealing with beliefs right now. All right. A lot of people believe a lot of things. We are not talking about belief right now, Frida. All right. We're going to move beyond your belief, Miss Frida. Someone says, yes, it is because we're all in the same boat. What does that mean? Frida, what does human services mean? I'm not understanding this. Help me out. Okay, so even if you're paying into your health care, are you getting the same care? All right. So does health care include you getting the jab? It says we have free health care in Canada, paid for in taxes. Not very good at the moment, though. Huge waiting lists. All right. Janice Davis, peace. What's good with you? Human services deal with humanity needs. What is that supposed to mean? So help me out. For sale says it is a right if we control our own healthcare. Thank you very much for saying that. They have the right to give us what they think or feel we deserve. This is only because we have allowed this to be done to us. Thank you. Someone said Canada is vastly different. We're not in Canada. Okay. The table of contents in this particular document that I've asked you to research or look up, pardon me, Chapter 1, they talk about population. The growth of the colored population in this country is at large in different sections of the country. Increase in the cities are compared with rural districts. So along with the eugenics program and other programs surrounding the whole idea of healthcare, these are things that are going on and happening to Black people. And just because it's not free doesn't mean you shouldn't care for your health. Okay, so should we rely on the government? Should we rely on the government as far as the healthcare is concerned? No, not equally in healthcare. Okay. Truth to power says only when necessary. What does that mean? Only when necessary. Was it necessary for us to depend on the government when they told us to take the jab? Well, should we have depended on the government when the Tuskegee syphilis experiment was going down? Should we have depended on the government in about 9 other instances I can remember? My pharmacy said we should rely on my pharmacy for our health care. Right. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we're going to listen yet again.
Black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing Black people to have any access to healthcare, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national healthcare system, people said no because Black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national healthcare system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in '47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism.
Okay. You heard what he said. So now we are doing the research and we're looking up the document that he said we should look up. Race, Traits, and Tendencies by Frederick Ludwig. Let me go back and get the name. Frederick Ludwig Hoffman. Statistics to the Prudential Insurance Company of America. We all have Prudential. I think my mom had Prudential. All right. All right. So now, what are we talking about here, fam? We have to do for ourselves because this is not the time to trust a lot of these hospitals. It was literally like a sci-fi movie on how melanated people were dying just a minute ago. Right. Okay. I don't even know anyone. Well, I guess I know a few people now that you're putting this stuff up. I don't know anyone that really trusts hospitals and doctors. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know too many people. Now, trust me, if I get a broken leg or a broken arm or something like that, then yeah, I might go to the hospital. If it's some intricate surgery dealing with some whatever, I'll probably end up in the hospital. All right. But if it's something that I know I can kind of deal with and kind of work out, I am definitely not bothering them people. I'm to the point now where I don't even like motherfucking taxi cabs. No, I'd rather Uber. I don't trust none of these people. You said a taxi cab. That ain't government. I know. I'm just saying. You said my grandmother used a wise saying, your kitchen is your hospital. Indeed. Kyrie Godson. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is very, very, very real. When we're talking about healthcare in America, some say it's a right. If it's a right, who do you fight when you get sub-care? When you don't even get the necessary care that you're supposed to get. All right. It is ridiculous at hospitals. I think I ended up in the hospital 2 or 3 times and literally walked out. Yeah. Seriously. So it's just one of those situations where you have to actually take care of yourself. All right. I think self-care is the best care. All right. I think the person who put that saying up a minute ago on IG was absolutely correct. Your kitchen is your doctor's office. This is where it starts. All right. And we should take the books down off the shelf from our ancestors who gave us the way. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Dr. Sabis, the Layla Africas. And all of the ones that have studied their work and came behind them. Too numerous to mention, but yeah. Self-care is the best care. All right. Anyway, that's my take on the whole healthcare thing. If it's a right, then I don't know who's giving this right. And then even if you have the right and you exercise this particular right, I'm not sure if you're getting the best care. All right. That's my take on it. It's a deeper subject, and those of us that are in that particular area and field, I'm sure we can find some stuff on YouTube on what they have to say about it. And you're right, 9 Ether 21. These gentlemen, Dr. Sabi, Layla Africa, and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us the blueprint. Let's run with it. Locate Guy calls it a health, not a health care, but the health scare. All right. It's best that we take care of ourselves. All right. You're your own doctor. Trust me. All right. Anyway, fam, it's Professor Griff. I love y'all to life. Please do me a favor. Put a couple of coins aside, some food stamps or whatever, and support the platform. Purchase my book, You Are the Song That You Sing. Go to my website right now, www.professorgriff.me. Purchase the book, or you can just hit me straight up, 678-557-2919. He says we need to understand ourselves in every aspect, on a mental level, physical level, and definitely when we start talking about taking care of ourselves. All right, we are vastly different from a lot of people on the planet. All right, we need to know who we are. This is why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we need to have a thorough knowledge of ourselves. All right, all right. Take care of ourselves. If you got a little bit too much happening around your gut section, start doing some sit-ups, start walking, change your intake and what you're putting in your mouth, do more juicing, a lot more breathing, a lot more walking, a lot more water. All right, work on yourself slowly but surely and get to that point where you need to be. And that point is where you feel most comfortable being healthy. All right, we're not telling you to be this extra super vegan or whatever. There's no one pill that fits all. All right, there's no one cure for everyone. All right, you know you better than anyone. You're the best person at being who can be you. You're the best person at being you. All right, it's Professor Griff. I love y'all to life, and I'll see y'all on the next one. All right, peace.
According to quantum physics, a particle vibrating from your sound box when you speak can affect a molecule inside a star at the edge of the universe instantly. This is what's known as quantum entanglement. The greatest illusion of the universe is the illusion of separation. Do not say your voice carries no weight. Your words are being absorbed by the edge of infinity. May you create as you speak. According to quantum physics, a particle vibrating from your sound box when you speak can affect a molecule inside a star at the edge of the universe instantly. This is what's known as quantum entanglement. The greatest illusion of the universe is the illusion of separation. Do not say your voice carries no weight. Your words are being absorbed by the edge of infinity. May you create as you speak.